Breaking news, brand new details about an attempted church break-in up in Goodlettsville. This is a live look at Victory Church on Rivergate Parkway. Police say two men tried to break into the front door, but they didn't make it inside. They were, however, caught on surveillance video, identified and picked up. They're now being questioned, and detectives say they may be responsible for a burglary there just yesterday. And a stolen car smashed into a pole in Madison overnight, igniting a search for suspects that lasted for several hours.
Newest reporter for us, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, joins us live from the scene. Sophie, I know you've been talking to the police detectives all morning long on this, getting updates, right?
Yes, and within the last hour or so, they told me they did find those suspects and they did catch them. It all started this morning when police say they stole a car and crashed it. You can see the tire marks in the grass leading up to the power pole that they just smashed in half. There are splinters and debris everywhere. Police say the two men are accused of stealing the black Honda Pilot from Old Hickory and then crashed it into the power pole, and then they were able to get in another car before running away. Police were searching for these guys for hours. When they finally caught up with them within the past few hours or so, police just filled us in within the last hour or so. Now back here in Madison, the person in that home does have a smashed mailbox. One of their cars was so heavily damaged it had to be towed. And then the house to the left of me doesn't have any power this morning. They say the power company tells them it should be back on by mid-morning. So an unlucky morning for some of these people here in Madison. For now, I'm live in Madison. Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Sophie. And a woman was hospitalized after being shot just south of downtown Nashville. Now, officers say it happened just before 2 this morning on Charles Davis Boulevard. The victim was shot in the leg by a man who left the area before officers arrived. Police are hoping to get more information about the shooting from the victim. We're working to get a description of the person that they are looking for.
Well, in other news this morning, police are now searching a former teacher out on bond this morning, out of jail after being accused of raping high school students. Marquita Alston was placed on administrative leave from her job there at Pearl Cone High School back in 2014. Someone told the principal that investigators said that Alston was performing sex acts on 5 17-year-olds, and some of those incidents reportedly happened there on the school grounds. Amy?
Well, two men are on the run. They're accused of holding an elderly couple at gunpoint. Officers say they were burglarizing a home on Chippendale Drive in Hendersonville. The homeowners came home, catching them in the act. The men held the couple at gunpoint and forced them back into their car. That's when a neighbor tried to help.
When they came out and pulled the gun on my neighbors, that's when I got out of the truck and I hollered at him, "Hey!" And he pointed it at me and said, "Get back in your truck."
Manuel Gomez says he's usually armed, but had just brought his gun inside to be cleaned. The robbers got away in an old green Ford Explorer, and now several neighbors are starting a neighborhood watch in case those men come back.
A Goodlettsville dad pleads guilty to homicide in his own son's death. Robert Turner was playing with the family cat, he told police last November, making it chase a little red laser from his handgun sight. Well, when he went to go make dinner, he just put the gun down, didn't put it away or lock it. His 7-year-old son picked it up and accidentally shot and killed his little brother. Turner was charged with criminally negligent homicide and reckless endangerment. He was sentenced to 6 years probation, and he can never own a gun. Also, he and his surviving son must continue to go to counseling.
A man police say shot two people inside a Memphis delivery business is in jail this morning. Charles Hammond allegedly opened fire inside Jar's Delivery Wednesday, killing one man and injuring another. The 30-year-old then walked to a nearby business, confessed, and waited for police. Hammond faces first-degree murder and attempted murder charges. No word yet on why he did it.
Well, they put their lives on the line for a complete stranger. Didn't think twice about it. Check this out.
It's in the back. Go, 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 go.
Wow. Video recorded last week in Kingston when two police officers pulled a 70-year-old woman out of a burning car. The driver was disoriented and took her a little while to unlock the door so the officers could pull her out. She was taken to the hospital and should be just fine. The car, it's a goner. 3 men accused of shooting a Springfield clerk during this dramatic robbery at a convenience store behind bars right now. The surveillance video shows the man holding the clerk at gunpoint, but then the clerk comes around the counter and fights back right there. The gunman shot the clerk 3 times before running off. The clerk's going to be all right. Investigators say Samuel Bradley, the guy on the far left of the shots right there, was the man who pulled the trigger and shot the clerk. The other 2, Larry Taylor and Taken Briley, are also in custody, charged with robbery.
It's a story that has gained national attention. A woman called the cops saying she was sexually assaulted by a toy at a hibachi steakhouse. And now we're getting to listen to the 911 call that started it all.
So he pulled the doll out in front of me, my wife, and my 2 kids, 2 of my kids and 2 of my grandkids. Okay. And shot water on my wife out of his. I want to press charges. I want this guy arrested for sexual assault.
James and Isabel Lassiter were at a wasabi restaurant in Murfreesboro when the chef used the doll as part of his routine when cooking. The couple says the chef squirted water on her, leaving her feeling violated. No charges were filed, but the couple is considering a lawsuit. To hear more, go to newschannel5.com.
600 jobs coming soon to the mid-state thanks to a major home improvement store. Lowe's announced yesterday that it will be building a 110-acre distribution center. That's going to be huge, just off I-24 in Coopertown. That facility will generate millions of dollars in revenue for Robertson County. Construction set to begin immediately. It'll open in a couple of years. The big national news this morning is this one. The Democratic National Convention ending with a historic moment. Hillary Clinton officially accepting her party's nomination to become president. Mrs. Clinton told the delegates the U.S. needs a leader who will work with allies to keep America safe. We'll hear some of the more memorable moments from Philadelphia just a little bit later on. Across the state, tax-free weekend is here.
It is, and this year it comes a week earlier than it has in the past. Our Kimberly Davis live at Nashville West Shopping Center with details. And so, Kimberly, can you explain why did they move it up this year?
Well, a lot of parents were complaining, Amy, and they were saying, hey, our kids are already in school, and then you have this tax-free weekend and we can't take advantage of it because our kids are already back to school. We already did all of our shopping. Could you move it up a little earlier so we can actually get those savings before our kids go back to school? So legislators heard their complaints and they followed with what they wanted, so they have this weekend moved back a week earlier now. We have been out here all morning long. We have seen a lot of cars parked in this parking lot, and they are all employees getting ready to head into the stores because, as you can imagine, they are expecting big crowds for this weekend's tax-free holiday. Now, today is the first day for that tax-free holiday. It started at midnight. The cash savings will continue until 11:59 Sunday night. Tennessee is one of 17 states that has a budget-saving holiday, but not everything is considered tax-free. Clothing and school supplies that are less than $100 each will be considered tax-free, and computers and tablets less than $1,500 will also be considered tax-free. But if you're interested in purchasing anything like a smartphone, that will not be tax-free. You will have to pay the tax on those items. But if you need rain boots or anything like that, that will be considered tax-free. And if you purchase anything online this weekend, you'll also get those savings as well. And shoppers can expect to save nearly 10% on those items. For now, we are live in West Nashville. I'm Kimberly Davis, News Channel 5.